Good girls like to party like the bad ones. Drop it down, shawty, let me bag some. Good girls like to party like the bad ones. Drop it down, shawty, let me bag some. Good girls.
दुनिया दी सुनदी ना बहरी जवानी मस्ती च मस्ताई जहरी जवानी दुनिया दी सुनदी ना बहरी जवानी मस्ती च मस्ताई जहरी जवानी रातों के इरादे से क्या बचना मैंने तो तेरे नाल नचना मैंने तो तेरे नाल नचना मैंने तो तेरे नाल नचना मैंने तो तेरे नाल नचना
Why don't we look out for each other?
I'm in love with the song. I've been listening to this non-stop for like 2 days. And so I watched Dhurandhar second time in the theater today in Sydney. So the last time I watched, I think it was in Melbourne. I don't know when I uploaded that video. Maybe it's been 2 weeks, I think. When was it released? So I think I watched it in on the 6th. It was released on the 5th, I believe. I could be wrong. Is there have they mentioned here the release date? This is the release date is not here. Yeah, so I believed it like 2 weeks back, and it still was houseful. Like I'm really surprised. Like I've never seen an Indian movie uh, run houseful after 2 weeks. That is, yeah, that is the first time I'm seeing something like this. And there's also there's a reason why I went to watch the second time, right? It's been a while since I watched an Indian movie. I mean, I watched Coolie, I think, second time, but that was for a different reason. It was Rajnikant and like a star cast, and it was like I'm a fan of on-screen Rajnikant, so that's a different reason. But like as a movie, this movie probably is the one that I most enjoyed in any language, any Indian movie that I watched in the past few years that I enjoyed this much. And it would have been a shame, right? It would have been a shame if this wasn't a hit, because this has lots of highs in this movie. It really would have been a shame if this wasn't a hit, and I'm glad that this movie is running successfully, because certain movies, it's just some magic in certain movies. I don't know if Aditya, I haven't watched his previous movie. I'm not sure if I will watch his future movies, all of his movies. I'm saying even Dhurandhar Part 2, I'm not sure if that would be as good as this, because certain movies, there's certain times this just happens, and as Ram Gopal Verma says, sometimes it's not the artist who make movies, it's the movie who makes the artist. This is one of such movies, right? And I literally got goosebumps, and in the climax scene when that song comes, right? Was the Punjabi song, that song. Literally, yes. As soon as this guy Hanuman can say "bada bang, bada boom," I was like so that little goosebumps. It lasted for like at least 10 seconds, I would say. And goosebumps to me doesn't they don't last that long. This was like there's something about this movie, and I mainly went for the songs, because I like the video songs have not been released yet on YouTube, I believe, and I liked like three songs a lot in this movie. One is this Nal Nachna. This is such an addictive, and whoever the rapper is, this lady, Oh my God! You guys watch it in the theater. The on-screen experience of this song is so beautiful. It comes as the chapter of Bullet in the chapter Bullets and Roses, I believe, right? So that's when like Ranveer Singh meets the this love interest of this movie, and then they start to hang out and that kind of stuff, right? Burger boys, burger girls, or whatever. That's the term that he uses in the movie. This song, and obviously Fasla, the Flipperachi song. I posted about that song the same day I think I came back from the theater. I did a post, YouTube post. This was on the 6th, I believe. How much I liked the song. That was like, and I it became a viral like right away. And this Punjabi MC song, like that song. Actually, I've heard that song before, and I watched that video. It was a bit of a, I don't know, like unusual video that song has, like the original one. And we all know, I think it's by Punjabi MC. We all know he's like kind of the OG of the Punjabi. What do you call that? Punjabi diaspora around the world. Like one of the first Punjabi international artists, I believe. To his songs get played in clubs all around the world, right? So he's that famous. And the usage of these songs in the movies is what makes it spectacular. The exact moment where it had to be used, and that's all I'm saying. Like, this is all. I don't think it's there's something bigger than a director trying, like, sometimes things fall into place, you know what I mean? I don't know how or why that happens. Sometimes this was meant to be a hit. Like even he wouldn't have expected this kind of reception, right? Because and I'm a thumber. I've been bashing Bollywood movies on my YouTube channel for a long time. But at the end of the day, when a movie is this good, you just go watch it, right? Because we are not, like, at least I am not. I can't talk for other critics or other reviewers or reactioners or whatever. At least from my perspective, I watch any movie in any language if that movie is good, and I don't bash or I don't criticize a movie just because I don't like the language. I don't like, no, nothing personal. As soon as I watched the movie, I posted, I made a post saying I like this movie, and then even in my reaction, I mentioned it's a really brilliant movie. So if it's good, if it's engaging, if it's entertaining, obviously I'm going to watch it and appreciate it, right? But I also like I like found a few, because I'm watching it second time. I'm going to uh, pay a lot more. Not a lot more. I'm going, because I know the story. Obviously, I'm going to analyze it a bit more while watching, isn't it? And I noticed that, like, Ranveer Singh, I don't know. I really appreciate him for playing this role in this movie, because because as a protagonist he has is taken a back seat, and like he is given space to the other actors, and then he has kind of taken a back seat, right? That only comes with maturity. You have to be really mature to be able to do that. But I don't think, like, this could have been a much better portrayal. And I believe Ranveer Singh is not there yet when it comes to the craft, and then artistic ability or whatever. Because I think if it had a bit more method, in his acting. I'm talking about like method acting, as in, it would have been a much better experience. Because in this movie, you see, this is how he appears throughout the movie, right? He Same length beard, same length hair. but the movie goes all the way from 2001 to 2009 or something like that. Like, but he doesn't show any variation, in these years. I found that a bit odd. It's a bit too perfect. He looks a bit too perfect in the movie. If you're if the story spans across like almost a decade, right? You're obviously going to have some changes in the physique, and then changes in, that those things. I think they could have paid a bit more attention to. And even in the climax scene where like this, like 12 different police cars trying to shoot at one guy. I mean, they keep missing him. Like, what's with that? So there are certain flaws, but like these flaws are like nothing compared to the other positives that you have in the movie, right? And I don't know how the part two is going to be, because this was more about the world building and that kind of stuff. Part two, I have feeling could be just like mostly action and violence and that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'll like it as much as I like this part, but you never know. You never know, right? So, meanwhile, Ram Gopal Verma has appreciated to this movie. He's gone like bonkers. He's like all praises for Aditya there. Let's quickly read what he says. So he just tweeted this yesterday, it seems. So he's completely single-handedly changed the future of Indian cinema, be it north or south. Yes, because like Bollywood, whatever happens in Bollywood, it's going to reflect in all other cinema. Because it's kind of like uh, it has much more reach, and it's obvious that it's going to influence every other cinema and the way people make movies, because this is I don't think any other movie, a Bollywood movie in the past few years has made this much of hype. And I don't know about money, how much is it has collected so far, but let's leave that. Is not just scale, but never before experienced vision, not just inside, but in the mind. Doesn't direct scenes, it's just like praising. Technically, the film redraws the camera of mainstream Indian cinema. Okay, let's read through the whole thing. That understands that power in storytelling is not volume; it's pressure building. Every sequence feels compressed, like a spring being wound, never knowing when it will snap. The impact is not just brutal, but it's also symphonically operatic. Okay, this is to be like, but they are designed to linger longer after we leave the theater. Characters walk in carrying history on their shoulders, and the film trusts the audience enough to read their scars rather than spoon feed their backstories, which could be easily mistaken for arc, is precisely what makes Dhurandhar as a turning point of Indian cinema. The audience are intelligent, which is the highest respect a director can pay to an audience, whereas most filmmakers believe in dumbing down their films. True. Technically, readers the grammar of mainstream Indian cinema. The sound design doesn't decorate scenes, it stalks them. The camera doesn't observe, but it circles like a predator. Action here is in choreography for applause. It's perspectively eh, justified and extremely ugly, the way real violence should feel. Yeah, yeah. And also, I realized, like watching it second time, the whole movie, it happens in Pakistan, right? It's almost like a Pakistani movie rather than an Indian movie. But like we don't feel that, like, because these characters, like the character study behind these characters, we become one of them, like witnessing what's happening. And it also teaches a lot more about Pakistan. I'm not saying Dhurandhar is where we should learn about Pakistan. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like in the past, many spy movies have been made, but none of those movies have been this closer to portraying Pakistani life, on a mainstream movie. That's what I'm trying to say. Half of us don't even know what what Balochistan is, and why, whether there's a problem between Balochistanis and Pakistan. I don't like those who are into politics. They probably know this. Outside that, people they don't know much about it, right? And Yeah. So, and then Aditya Dar replied to this saying, if this tweet or a film, apparently Aditya Dar is, he came to the industry wanting to work with Mr. Ram Gopal Verma, but he couldn't. And he is really he's on cloud number nine for because of that tweet. You were one of my favorite directors who made me feel fearless. Wait a minute. Uh, his witness, so fan and me is overwhelmed. That's what he says. And he goes on to Ramgopal Verma goes on to like he tweets another tweet. It's like about lessons learned from this movie, and it's like nine different points. So this is what he says. Unlike the other so-called pan-India big films, the film doesn't even try to elevate the hero and give him the so-called elevation moments to make the audience forcefully worship him. That is, yeah, the movie doesn't try that, and that is more like a Telugu, Kannada kind of audience. They do that, and Ram Gopal Verma is obviously a Telugu. I think maybe he's talking from his perspective, but not all movies they do that. Like it's predominantly the Telugu industry and maybe the Kannada industry they do that, and Tamil industry as well. Like one side of the Tamil industry they do that too. It actually lists his flaws and the related causes. Yeah, okay. Unlike how most films explain Durandar withholds long stretches of silence. Okay, it treats violence as not as a spectacle but as a psychological blow. Yeah, I mentioned this in my earlier reaction. Like this violence is not forced in this movie. It happens when it has to, and that is one of the reasons people are okay with this kind of explicit violence. If you watch the movie, you'll understand what I mean. Some of the scenes are very graphic, and abandons the three-act safety net. The three-act, I'm not sure what that is. I believe that's how like typically commercial movie makers make movies. There's like three-act, and this has like 7, 8 chapters or something like that. Was the audience intelligent, unapologetically, not spoon feeding? Yeah, makes the sound design. I don't pay attention to these kind of things. It refuses genre loyalty because it makes us. Yeah, that's another good thing about it. You can't box it into a certain genre. It's a beautiful. It's like multi-genre kind of a film. For the first time, I experienced background music becoming foreground music. It doesn't tell you when to feel heroic, scared, or relieve. The constant uneasy yet prepared with an emotional roller coaster is the real soundtrack of the film, achieved by unimaginably talented. Yeah, so I, I for the first time I googled this man's name. Dhurandhar treats cinema as a confrontation and not consumption. Big thank you for making Indian cinema grow up and is giving us present and future too. Okay, Dhurandhar success is not just being another blockbuster, it's warning the film industry to grow up. He doesn't like mince words when it comes to appreciation. Huh? He just appreciates wholeheartedly. I That's what I like about Ram Gopal Verma. He's not stingy when it comes to appreciation. None of that didn't impress me because it reminded me of anything that I've done. Like so, this is to his reply to Aditya's reply that his inspiration. He says, "You didn't work inside my cinema; you outgrew it." And like he calls him a Superman with Durandar, and I think Aditya thanks him again. And there's another thing that I noticed, like this has become the most pirated movie in Pakistan. So many people are dying, like downloading to watch a movie in Pakistan. Obviously, see if a Pakistani director had made a movie about India, irrespective of whether it showed India in good light or bad light, if the whole movie is happening in India is about Indians, I'm obviously going to watch it somehow, isn't it? You can't ban the movie and then make someone not watch it. That is not how it works. I mean, I probably might go watch it again too. right? Like I love this movies because this is once this kind of movies happen once a decade or once in 2 3 decades. You know what I mean? Like this movie's impact is going to be felt like mm, much later in the 2030s or even 2040s, like decades after, people are going to be talking about these movies. And I'm glad that I'm living, like, and not just like, because this is so good. This movie is so good. This in every aspect. This movie is it 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 was meant to be a hit, and it is, and I'm glad it is. See you guys. Bye.